Hey guys, welcome to Planet Zoo Africa pack. The new pack and update 1.6 has landed, so here's a quick rundown of everything new you can enjoy. First, we have 3 new pats, a decorative brick, coloured tile and a monochrome tile. Each one comes with a new railing, so the brick one has the plaster columns, the coloured one has this delicate metalwork pattern, and then the monochrome path which has a different kind of railing. So that's the pats. Next we'll take a look at the new foliage. We've got the African oil palm, the doom palm, dragon's blood tree, drin grass, the fever tree, nitraria bush, quiver tree, and last but not least the sausage tree. I had to look this one up because I didn't think this was real, but indeed the sausage tree does exist, and it gets its name from the shape of the fruit it bears, which I guess does look rather like sausages. Anyway, that's all the new plants. Let's move on to the building pieces. So we've got the wall decorations and props, and it's the typical kind of props that you get with the DLCs. So there's some camel signs, decorative plates, a lattice panel and wall bracket. We have some new ropes, some new plaster wall decorations, and some more animal signs. Now, this is wonderful. We've got a new fence, and this is the same one used in the coloured tile path. So if you're using that path, you could easily put this in anywhere and it'll match up. We've also got 2 new lights, so a standing lamp and a wall lamp light. Moving on, we've got some more mosaic props, so a wall fountain, the new mosaic tile planter, and a new tile fountain. Then we have some more animal statues. These are all fine, but I'm not so keen on the rhino mosaic one. I think I'd have preferred if they'd made a rhino statue similar to what these ones are, but no matter. Last but not least in our placeable props is the lovely palm tree statue. I can see myself using this one a lot as a centerpiece. For the path placeable pieces, we've got a new bench, a bin, a picnic table, and an umbrella. I kind of wish that we had the basic bench alongside this fancy one. Personally, I don't think this will work well as a general bench along your zoo paths, and with a picnic table and umbrella. This is a very different style, so it's deviating quite a bit from that mosaic and blue and brass metalwork feel that we've got on everything else. Kind of wish they continued the blue theme with this to match up with that, but you can't have everything. So let's move on to the new building structure pieces. There's a huge selection of new plaster pieces, and yes, these are all recolorable. Actually, pretty much everything in this new pack is recolorable, which is fantastic. The more choices we have with recolorable pieces, the better it is for everyone. Next up, we've got new wood paneling beams and lattice panels with this rather weathered look about it. Then one of my favourite pieces in the new DLC, we have this very pretty mosaic tiles. They're going to look great if you're building a North African style zoo. Moving on to windows, doors and roofing, there's only one new style of roof, and it's this dome topper. It's very pretty, and to be fair to the devs, the very classic North Africa architecture style, that's predominantly flat roofs, so it doesn't surprise me that there isn't any, say, new tiled roof with this set. For the windows, we've got the coloured plaster style, and then there's this curious new window, which is an emitter window. Now, what's interesting about this is that it requires power to work, and what I know about real-life emitter windows, they're treated with a chemical during manufacture, and that makes them very good at reflecting heat, but that doesn't require power to work. So I'm wondering here if they're bringing in a new game mechanic where you can harness the energy produced from these windows and use that to reduce your power costs in the zoo. If so, that's probably very useful for those playing in franchise mode. Anyway, moving on, we've got one new door, which is a reinforced wooden door, and additional to this, we've got this teeny tiny door knocker, probably one of the smallest pieces in the game. Next up is the mosaic wall pieces. There's some new panels for shop fronts, and again some coloured plaster fascias. And then last but not least in the build pieces is the new coloured plaster columns. You can tell these will fit in very well with some of the mosaic pieces that we've got going on too. That's all of the new placeables in the game. Next up I want to show you the ready-made in-game blueprints, because some of these are looking really good. Someone in the Frontier team has really stepped up their building game. So first off, there's 3 new nature scenes. So we've got the circular tree scene, a fountain, and then this overgrown wall set, which is really, really cute. Building wise, we've got a new mosaic shop fascia, big and small. Then this one I'm calling the fancy sandcastle buildings, purely because they look a little bit like a sandcastle to me. Then we have some new decorated exhibition boxes with the lattice panel work. Then we have a whole host of new buildings in the classic North African Casbah style. This is a very distinct kind of North African building style, and Frontier have nailed it creating these. So the toilets here and this other building, we've got a little bit of the Casbah still going on there, but it's also bringing in elements of the mosaics, and I really dig this style. I think I'll be stealing this for some of my own builds. Other custom pieces, there's a gazebo, a very nice archway, and some more towers. Then we're back to the Casbah style buildings. Some with some nice little touches, and a lot of attention to detail has gone into this. So that's all of the Africa Pack new build pieces, but there is something very special I wanted to show you that's been added to the base game, and this thing is a game changer. It's finally here, mesh fencing. I think the community has been asking from day one for us to have this type of fence, and we finally have it. This is going to be so useful. Now I need to go back and update basically every workshop asset I've ever made to add this wonderful fencing in. Anyway, that's everything new to the game. I hope this has been insightful and gives you an idea of what to expect in the Africa Pack. I've got a separate video checking out the new animals and the new animal behaviours, so be sure to check that one out too. It should be up in a sidebar right now. Click on it, go on, you know you want to.